Hello, it's Nissa here. At Wild Earth Travel, we are passionate about all things expedition cruising. And from the start, that is over 15 years, we've partnered with Coral Expeditions. They are a perfect fit for adventure enthusiasts wanting to visit remote natural wonders. And in this presentation from Gabby Percy, Sales Manager for Australia and New Zealand, you will find out more about expedition cruising, why choose Coral, and some of their key destinations. And I can say from our own client feedback, a few things that really stand out about Coral are their warm Australian hospitality, the calibre of their expert guides, which is truly excellent, and the options available, including their Explorer tenders, which are quite unique and enable clients to access those hard to reach spots in comfort and ease. Anyway, Gabby will tell you a little bit more about this in her presentation.
If you're new to Coral Expeditions or expedition cruising, this will be a really good overview for you. And I'll kick it off with a quick video. Basically, this just sums up Coral Expeditions and the true ethos of who we are and what we do. Great. So who we are and why choose Coral Expeditions. We are an Australian owned and operated and crewed company based in Cairns. So that's where I am. And we operate small ship expeditions to some of the most remote regions of Australia and the world. So we started 40 years ago in Cairns, and that's why we're here, and that's where our head office is. So we are now recognised as Australia's longest established expedition cruise operator, with operating for over 40 years, as I mentioned. We're really proud to now be able to bring a level of experience, service, knowledge and sustainability practices that is unrivaled in the Australian expedition cruise industry. So over the 40 years, we've always kept the same purpose and operated with that purpose, which is to take small groups of like-minded explorers to remote places with expert guidance and warm Australian hospitality. So what is expedition cruising? When I ask people this, a lot of things that come to mind is more of the polar regions, but it is a lot more than that. So this photo is a great example of what expedition cruising offers. It's taking guests on an adventure to remote locations, immersing them in the unforgettable, authentic cultural experiences, and being educated about the beautiful natural environments that we visit along the way as well. So all of this, though, is done whilst travelling on board our purpose-built small ship ocean-going fleet, which allows us to get into these places. So you'll find that many people who join our voyages are coming for the smaller ship experience. They have done big ship cruising before, but it wasn't for them. So they want to learn about the flora and fauna. They want to see incredible landscapes and natural wonders. They want to experience Indigenous art and culture, and they really want an immersive learning experience along the way. Our research that we've done shows that 90% of our guests have cruised before, as I said, on the big ship cruising, and they want that smaller ship atmosphere. So you've got to find the right product for the right client, and there's definitely something out there for everybody. We do find with our age group on board, they can vary anywhere from 55 to 75, depending on the voyage. So most people know us for the Kimberley and the Great Barrier Reef, which is excellent. That's where we did start. However, over the 40 years, we have been expanding our fleet to many, many places. So we now have 3 ships in our fleet, with all 3 actually in the Kimberley every season for about 6 months of the year. And after the Kimberley season, all of our ships set sail basically off in different directions. So our smaller ship, Coral Discoverer, stays here in Australia, explores across the top, the Great Barrier Reef, and then she'll make her way down to Tassie each year. And then our two larger ships will venture more into international waters by kicking off the international season with the west and south coast of Australia before heading across the ditch to New Zealand or up the top up into Micronesia, which I'm going to tell you about later on. Now, as mentioned, we have three ships in our fleet. So they have been designed for expedition cruising in subtropical waters. So our fleet is very comfortable, safe, and purposely built, which allows us to access a lot of these places that large ships can't get into. All of our ships are Australian flagged, which allows our guests valuable time at the destination and basically not having to travel back and forth into international waters on our domestic voyages. Now, on all of our ships, we do have wraparound decks for panoramic views and wide open public spaces as well that you can walk about or just sit and relax. And then our smaller ship, the Coral Discoverer, has 36 staterooms and a maximum of 72 passengers. And then you've got Coral Adventurer and Coral Geographer, which are sister ships. They're more new, more modern ships. We've got them in the last few years. And they both have 60 staterooms and a maximum of 120 passengers on each. Now, whichever ship, all the cabins are outward facing, so no one will miss out on the view along the way. And they can all be set up with twin or junior king beds as well. And we do have options for solo travellers too. Now, on board, you'll find a variety of accommodation options to select from. Our top of price point would be the bridge deck suites, right at the top, and then they feature a junior king bed, a lounge area, private balcony, mini bar, coffee bar as well. And yeah, it's just so stunning to see these rooms. They're huge. But they also have a relaxing outside facing ensuite as well, with a bathtub, which is beautiful. Nice way to unwind after a day on holidays. And then our staterooms feature a private balcony or a picture window or a porthole window. And they come with a junior king bed or two separate singles. And then to complete the room, it comes with a private ensuite in all of those categories as well. But all rooms include Starlink, which is the Wi-Fi that you can get in the remote areas. It's great for text-based apps and for staying in touch with family, just enough basically to disconnect and still experience your adventure. But we do also offer premium Wi-Fi as well, which is also through Starlink. And that's a range of packages that can be just purchased once the guests are on board. Now, just to note with Coral Discoverer, she is about 20 years old now. We do give her a lot of love every year. We put her in refit. However, she's going in for a major refit in Singapore in September this year, which we're very excited about. As I said, we do keep her up to date, and a lot of our regular past passengers, they like Coral Discoverer for that nice intimate feel on board with small numbers. So a commonly asked question that we always get is, what rating is your ship, or do you class yourself as 5-star and things like that? So we don't actually like to star rate our product. However, we are similar to a boutique wilderness lodge where you wake up in a stunning new destination each day. So we have our one restaurant on board. We don't have swimming pools, pokies or TVs in the rooms, but we are about focusing more on the destination rather than the ship itself. So the ships, as you could see in those images prior, the ships are very comfortable. They're very well equipped and stylish as well. So all three of our vessels have a very similar yacht style feel to them. And as I mentioned, they all have outward facing staterooms. They carry both Explorer tenders and Zodiacs. They've got the promenade deck if anyone wants to get their steps up during the day, as well as plenty of indoor and outdoor alfresco, beautiful sitting areas where you can just sit back, relax, take in the view and read a book. So we are all inclusive. Once your clients are on board and unpacked, they can just start enjoying the expedition without any hidden surprises at the end. So inclusions are all meals, which are chef prepared daily. We do daily excursions led by our expert guides as well. We have premium wines, beers and spirits and soft drinks, which are included with the lunch and the dinner meals. There's a 24-hour barista-style coffee and tea station on board. I am a massive coffee snob and the coffee was excellent. Standard Wi-Fi, as I said, is Starlink. We do also include a voyage log and an image collection, which is something really nice. And it's all photos basically of the voyage that the expedition team and the guest lecturers are taking with their amazing cameras. And they send that all through to the guests after the voyage, and you can keep those images and use them at your discretion. So all fees for ports and parks and traditional land access are also included. Now, because we are all Aussie and Kiwi crew on board, it's not mandatory to tip. However, if your clients are wanting to tip, they can. Now, the only exception to our all-inclusive activities would be scuba diving, and there's a helicopter option at Mitchell Falls in the Kimberley. So with the helicopter flight, this can be booked on board as it is run by a third party. For the scuba diving, because we are going to some pretty remote places, even if your clients are certified, they will need to visit a special dive medical doctor and get a dive medical before they can opt for the scuba diving option. Now, food options are pretty incredible and they are all chef prepared on board. So we do foster a community of local providores, farmers and growers wherever we can. Our regional menus are always based off seasonality, and this allows us to adapt our menus and actually source local produce at its seasonal best and based on the destinations that we're visiting as well. So meal service includes the complimentary Australian and New Zealand house wines, along with beers and spirits. Guests can also indulge further from a selection of drink packages available for purchase on board if they would like more of a premium wine selection. And breakfast is served as buffet and lunch and dinner are served as a la carte. So on board our vessels, we strongly encourage a really natural Australian style of service, meaning an open interaction basically between our guests and our crew. So we do have an open bridge policy. A lot of guests love to go into the bridge in the morning, have their morning coffee, chat with the shipmaster and see all the workings of the ship. Some guests like to head to the galley, see their dinner being prepared and give compliments to the chef is always nice too. And then we have the guests, of course, that love to check out the workings below deck, and it's always one of our most popular tours on board. We do an engine room tour with our engineers, which is pretty incredible too. So our vessels are all crewed with Aussies and Kiwis, which sums up basically you're guaranteed to have some great banter and a good time. Sorry, guys. Okay, so something that really sets us apart are our Explorer tenders. So they are unique to Coral Expeditions because we are the only cruise operator with them. It really sets us apart. So accessibility and comfort are just really its standout features. The Explorer tenders basically are lowered and raised by a hydraulic lift. So they bring it down to level with the deck of the ship, and this allows our guests to walk straight on and off. And because it's not floating on the water, our guests are not struggling to balance themselves while transferring on and off. So this is always highlighted in feedback from our older guests. It's just very easy for different mobility levels. Now, our Explorer tenders feature audio system for the clear commentary along the way. There's also, I know it doesn't look like it, an onboard toilet for that remote convenience. There's comfortable seats with backrests, a roof to protect you from the hot sun in those warmer climates. There's panoramic views and all open air sides as well, so you get great breeze coming through, great photo opportunities. And if we are somewhere where there's a bit of bad weather, we have clears that will come down the sides as well. But they can seat the ship's full capacity, so no one's left behind and everyone gets the same experience and all gets to go together at once. So to see how those work, I've got a little video here for you, which I'll play, and this will give you a bit more of an insight. pretty incredible. We like to call them the safari jeeps of the sea. So we also do have the Zodiacs on board. And these are just offering another exciting way to navigate those small inlets and get closer to nature and the action, and are used just on a limited number of expeditions and areas where possible. Now, because of the regions we visit, guests must have a moderate level of mobility and fitness to safely participate in our activities. So this includes the ability to embark and disembark tenders with minimal assistance, and also walk on uneven terrain such as rocky shorelines, nature tracks and beaches, and navigate flights of stairs and decks on a moving vessel safely. And they need to be able to access those stairs up and down in the rare event of an emergency on board. So guests with mobility or medical limitations, we just suggest that they should carefully consider travel, and they can always consult us before booking if they're not sure. For safety reasons, though, crew may deny boarding or restrict participation in certain activities at their sole discretion. And that's why we always suggest just reach out to us before booking. We can chat through the options and make sure that's all covered before they book in and get on board. So we do always aim, of course, to accommodate guests where possible, but expedition cruising, it does require a level of physical capability to fully enjoy all the activities and make sure you have a safe experience as well. Now, daily excursions. So the whole purpose basically of an expedition cruise is to explore the destination you visit and get the most time there. So we do aim for 2 shore excursions daily where possible. And as mentioned, all led by our own expedition team. So shore excursions generally have 2 options, and this will always vary depending where you are. So for example, it could be a nice, easy coastal flat beach walk, or it could be something like a more challenging hike, like you can see in this image here, Padar Island in Indonesia, which might have some uneven rocky ground. Or it could be just a coastal cruise on our explorers searching for wildlife and, doing sort of a wildlife spotting cruise instead. But basically, there's lots of options and there's always something for everybody as well. So our expedition team, what they do, they usually announce over whether it's sunset drinks or at dinner, what the activities are going to be for the next day. And this is the perfect opportunity for the clients on board to just have a chat, and they can chat privately as well with our expedition leaders, and they can see what the best option they think would be suitable for your clients on board. But we always take mobility levels into account. So as I said, there's always something for everybody. Now, solo travel. I think we all know that solo travel market is becoming huge. So the image on the right-hand side you can see was actually from when I went on my Kimberley trip, and we had a very large group of female solo travelers on board, which was really nice. So we formed our own little crew each night, and we shared some great memories together, and we've still got a WhatsApp group together and things like that. So it's definitely becoming a very big market. And it's very nice as a solo traveller, I felt, on our voyages, because the way that the dining room is set up, they do cater for solo travellers to make sure no one feels excluded, and they set up the dining area with odd and even numbers as well. But for our solo travellers, our overall policy is 1.5% of the cruise fare. However, we do have a few options for solo travellers depending on the voyage. So from time to time, we have some great no sol sup offers, or we do a reduced sol supplement, which is 1.25%. So then that's a couple options there. But as a standard, we always offer a no sol supplement for voyages departing within 30 days. This can change depending how many rooms we've got available. It might be 60 days. So we do have a bit of a flexible agenda with solo travel. But now, just to sum up what we have covered and what sets us apart, we do have a true expedition ethos. So we are actually about the destination itself and not the ship. So our ships are purpose-built. So this allows us to go and venture into places that larger ships can't access and really get that ultimate remote experience. And then if you take anything away today, guys, I really recommend the Explorer tenders. So, as I said, we like to call them safari jeeps of the sea. That's really what they are. It allows us to explore longer and in remote comfort. Then our local expertise, it's unrivaled, especially in the Kimberley. So we have been visiting a lot of the places that we go to for a very long time. And some of our team have actually been with us for majority of the 40 years. So they're also passing down their knowledge. So we just always make sure we've employed the most appropriate staff on that voyage and they're handpicked for their knowledge. We're all inclusive. So as I said, no hidden surprises. And we are Australian owned, operated and flagged. So it's nice to support an Aussie business. And then no passports is always a good one. So no passports required on domestic expeditions. And that just streamlines the booking process for you as well. All right, now let's get into the campaign details. So we are excited to announce we will be running an exclusive campaign in partnership with our friends at Wild Earth between the 1st of March and the 30th of May. So I'm going to run through the selection of voyages that are included in this campaign in the next few slides. But basically each of these voyages will have an exclusive dollar savings, which will just allow you to bundle with pre and post flights to and from the destination for your clients. So just giving that added value to them. So all you have to do, guys, is make a new booking on one of the selected itineraries part of the campaign, and you will earn yourself a $200 Prezi gift card for each new booking. So if you're an Australian agent, it'll be $200 in Australian dollars, and then if you're in New Zealand, it'll be New Zealand dollars. So for further terms and conditions, including room categories that are applicable to the campaign and all the other information, you can find them on the screen here. And this information as well will be available to you through the Wild Earth team if you'd like to double check that. So the first of our series is our Papua New Guinea, Micronesia and Melanesia series. So this one has a $2,000 per person savings. Now, our long history of operating in New Guinea, Micronesia and Melanesia, this really allows us to showcase these lands, which are some of the most isolated on the planet, which is crazy. So guests will enjoy warm welcomes as they discover all the remote villages that we get to visit, the cultural traditions as well. They love welcoming us there. There will be lots of water-based activities such as kayaking and snorkeling. Diving is an optional extra. There'll be wildlife spotting, including searching for long-lost bird species. So it's great for those bird lovers and water babies. But on visits to remote islands, one of the main highlights our guests always love admiring is the intricate craft work, which has been passed down from generation to generation. Usually there's the opportunity to purchase this artwork as well, which is pretty special. And it's nice to support the villages that we're visiting as well. But there's no better way to experience the spirit of New Guinea, Micronesia and Melanesia than by one of our expedition ships, which really allow us to get into the shallow bays and visit these remote villages that are very hard to get to. So even better, your clients can travel with ease on our optional charter flights as well, which provides a direct connection between destinations on some of our voyages. And these usually depart from Darwin or Cairns. And then next in the series in the campaign is more of our newer itineraries, which is to Japan and the Philippines. So I think we all know this is such a hot destination at the moment. And with the added bonus of $2,000 per person savings, again, your guests can just use that money towards pre and post travel or their activities, and it's just adding that added value for them. But the itineraries in the Japan and Philippines are basically itineraries that aren't your standard Japan and Philippines. It's places that most visitors have not seen. And with only 120 people on board and an expert expedition team telling you all about the places that you're visiting, there's no better way to really experience these far reaches than by our ships. And we set sail to the small islands of the Japanese archipelagos, most which remain untouched by Western travellers, which is cool. And then we will discover remote island life at traditional fishing villages along the way, experience authentic encounters with local people, culture, nature along the way. So really, it's an experience not to be missed. And we've been getting some fantastic reviews back from past passengers returning on this over the last couple of years. All right, and then we've got our Tassie series. So Tassie, or as we like to call it, Mini New Zealand over here in Oz. So your clients really can come down for air, is one of the sayings here in Australia when you go to visit Tassie. So it's pristine Tassie. You will get to discover the beautiful rugged wilderness, amazing food that it's known for, and beer, wine, all these craft breweries. It's also got a strong colonial history as well. But Tassie truly has something for everyone, making it a Tassie expedition cruise experience just for anyone and everyone. And on this one, we do have a $1,000 per person saving on all of our Tassie series as well. Hey guys, that brings us to the end of our webinar today, but I really, really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy days to tune in and watch and learn all about Coral Expeditions.
Thank you to Gabby for that detailed presentation. And if you have any questions or you want to know more details about the current Coral promotions or would like any marketing collateral to help support you in your own campaign, please don't hesitate to reach out to the team. And on behalf of the team, I'd like to thank you for tuning in and we'll see you next time. Bye.